Welcome to Day 23 of Founding Fathers Faith Awareness Month.
Maryland was the 7th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution, doing so on April 28, 1788. 3 men signed the Constitution from the state: James McHenry, Daniel Carroll, and Daniel Jenifer. 2 men, Martin and John Mercer, did not sign the document. Martin, attorney, Maryland Attorney General for 28 years, did describe himself as devoted to the sacred truths of the Christian religion. He did not sign the U.S. Constitution in part because it did not require the profession of the Christian faith as most state constitutions did. He did say this, however.
It ought to be considered that national crimes can only be, and frequently are punished in this world, by national punishments, and that the continuance of the slave trade, and thus giving it a national sanction and encouragement, ought to be considered as justly exposing us to the displeasure and vengeance of him who is equally Lord of all, and who views with equal eyes the poor African slave and his American master.
James McHenry, M.D., Revolutionary War officer, signer of the U.S. Constitution, ratifier of the U.S. Constitution, Secretary of War under Presidents George Washington and John Adams, said this:
Public utility pleads most forcibly for the general distribution of the Holy Scriptures. Without the Bible, in vain do we increase penal laws and draw entrenchments around our institutions.
He also said this:
Bibles are strong protections. Where they abound, men cannot pursue wicked courses and at the same time enjoy quiet conscience.
This is what the Constitution of the State of Maryland says in its preamble and 2 of its articles.
We, the people of the state of Maryland, grateful to Almighty God for our civil and religious liberty, and taking into our serious consideration the best means of establishing a good constitution in this state for the sure foundation and more permanent security thereof, declare, Article 35, that no other test or qualification ought to be required on admission to any office of trust or profit than such oath of support and fidelity to this state, and such oath of office as shall be directed by this convention or the legislature of this state, and a declaration of a belief in the Christian religion. Article 36. That the manner of administering an oath to any person ought to be such as those of the religious persuasion, profession, or denomination of which such person is one, generally esteem the most effectual confirmation by the attestation of the divine being.